Hello, welcome to the Port Entertainment. I'm here once again with a returning guest. She did a great job on the first episode that she did with me. Cookie, thank you once again for being here.
Thank you for having me again, once again.
Yeah, and this time you added like something else to your achievements. You're an author now, right?
Yes, I am.
And I got her book. And let me tell you, I love the like when I open the book, when the packaging, the design, and the messages, and I started flipping through the pages. I was like, and it was hitting me. I was like, okay, I like what you did here. Everything, like from the first page, and then like from there on, like all the entries, every page had a purpose. So congrats on what you put together, because it doesn't, I mean, I don't know a lot of authors myself, so I'm trying to become one. So whatever you're doing, keep doing.
Thank you for your support. Again, thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me this platform to speak about my book. For every thought, here's a cookie. We'll be in a store near you soon. But yes, thank you. Seriously, thank you. Gratitude.
Actually, yeah. So where did the idea of like this book came along? Like, can we, explore that?
So back in 2019, I was living in Georgia, and one night I just started writing. It was a year after my brother passed away, and I just started writing because I was going through so much feelings. Mm-hmm. The reason of me moving from Delaware to Georgia was like for a fresh start. I had just graduated college, so I wanted to get a different feel of somewhere else, away from home, to like spread my wings. And I started writing then. So I started writing then, mm-hmm. But I feel like over the years of me writing my book, it became so much better. Because I lost content, I got more content, I got greater content, and in the moment I couldn't really, I would say like grasp the reason of why I lost all my content, but I lost it for a reason.
Yeah, I lost a lot of content too.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff that I've written down. Like, I'm a poet, and sometimes like I try to remember poems that I wrote that I don't have anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm like, damn, they're so good.
It's like that. Sometimes I feel like now that I'm here today and I have my book finally, and it's like everything plus what I wanted it to be, I feel like it wasn't a loss, it was a lesson. I needed to lose that content because I was rushing something that is great now. So I'm appreciative for that loss or that lesson of it. Yeah.
I mean, the Library of Alexandria got burned down, so sometimes you gotta lose.
Sometimes you gotta start from scratch. That's okay. That is okay. Seriously.
Yeah. So for every thought, here's a cookie, yes? How you say it? F.E.T.H.A.C?
F.E.T.H.A.C. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's you're also like consider yourself a poet?
Yeah, I do. I'm just an artist. Let's just put it that way, an artist.
Yeah. You gotta be a little poetic when it comes to being an artist.
Yeah.
Not a little, but a lot.
Yeah, not poquito, a lot. A lot.
So, yeah, I mean, I would say, like, that's one of the things that I saw about, like, some of your writings were, like, and, yeah, like, there's a lot of affirmations in it, which are much needed. I was going over my journal. You made me go over my writings.
I love that.
That's the type of impact that you want to have, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about that. What type of impact are you...
That is a great question. The impact that I want to have is just to change the whole dynamic of the world. That's my only purpose, I feel, here, is to help others be able to be vulnerable with themselves, with the world, because I feel like society makes it like we have to keep everything bottled in, or we have to go through things by ourselves, when the reason for me writing this book is to let my feelings out, because I know someone else is going through the same thing or something similar, and it can help them. So my impact that I want to have on this and other things that I create is just to spread light on things that we shy away from in the dark. Like, we don't bring to light. We just allow it to be behind the scenes, and I feel like we all have a voice for a reason, so I'm using mine. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it's true because I actually needed to read what was in that book in the first pages, you know.
Yes.
Because like sometimes I'm highly motivated. Sometimes I'm like, damn, I just need a little push, or more than a little push. You know?
Right.
So it's good that you feel like the stuff that you're going through, other people are going through, and how sometimes you don't have no one to motivate you, no one to inspire you. You got to do it yourself. You know?
Right. Exactly.
And I mean, a lot of people don't even have that. So the fact that like you want to put that out there for those people, you know, that's definitely, we need more people to think like that instead of like just offer me, you know, like I just want to get this money and.
Yeah. No, I feel like I just made a post about this. Is like each one teach one. Anything that I obtain and learn, I want to teach someone else, or I want them to learn from the mistakes that I made. I have people that look up to me. My little sister called me the other day, and I was in marching band, like we were just talking about before we start shooting, and traveling the world with marching band and finding myself and doing things different. She called me the other night, and she's like, I wanted to do what you did, so I'm in marching band, and it's like, that's just my purpose here, to just so
I mean, being a mentor.
Yes, I love that.
I'm actually like looking into joining a mentorship program here, and I got to write a bio about myself. And one of the things that I wrote was like how I didn't have anyone there for me. You know, you have I have my parents, but like you're looking back and you're like, damn, I made a lot of mistakes. I wish I would have known better. And that's why, you know, you don't want those people to make those mistakes. So as a mentor, you want to be there, you know, and that's what we need more in the world.
Yes.
Like this is especially for the younger generations. You don't want them to, like, they got to make mistakes, right?
Yeah, everyone has to make mistakes. That's a part of your journey. Yeah, you got to make mistakes, but if I can help you not make the same exact mistake, then I would try to do my part.
Or terrible mistakes.
Or worse, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the only purpose I feel of me just wanting to write my book again, to just help and bring light onto darkness. That's all.
And like another aspect of it is like, it's not only, making mistakes, and also is understanding life, you know?
Yes.
Like navigating the real world.
Yes.
You know, because that's the thing that's difficult, and like you gotta figure out, and especially when you're young, like if you don't have any like sense of direction, like it all comes with like having those like goals, or like having like a bigger purpose, that, and then when we're younger, we just want to have fun, and
right. There's no substance behind that.
No substance behind that, but like if you have like at least one mentor, one person speaking to you, like light speaking to you, that like giving you that extra, like makes you reflect even a little more than you should, then you know you might be all right. You might like avoid. It might give you that 1 degree of separation, or you're just heading in the right direction now.
Exactly.
You know, so
yep.
I'm all for what you're doing now. Are you going to continue writing?
Yes. I feel like that's the only way I can get, not the only way, because I'm learning now to use my voice more. Before, it's so crazy that we would critique the things that we're supposed to use, and when we start to learn who we are. Like I used to not like my voice. So for me to use my voice now is like a beautiful thing for me. Yeah. So I'm learning that, and the process of me learning that, I feel another way to like outlet or output is by writing. So I am writing another book, and that's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to be an autobiography of why I wrote this book.
So whenever you started writing, it just came out of nowhere to start writing? Like prior to that, you used to like have a different relationship to writing than?
So when I was like in elementary school, I used to love writing class. That was like my favorite class. And as I grew up, I stopped writing as much, and I painted and other things like to outlet and output. But I didn't write as much. Like, I didn't care to write papers. I think it was like more so because it was like thrown on me. Like, write papers in school, write this, write this. And it was like, it wasn't like what I really wanted to do. So when I moved to Georgia, I had family, but it was like you say, you're by yourself. You're learning. You're figuring out your life. You're figuring out your path. So I was just in my room and I just started to write. And I knew that I wanted it to be a book, but I didn't know that at the beginning. I just was writing and just outputting and just saying how I felt in the moment, and then it became something, again, great.
And you've been writing more consistently or more?
Yes, I write every day.
Every day?
At least twice a day. I have to. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so your relationship to writing, like, completely changed, and
yes.
How has it changed you? Has it improved you? Has it like...
Yes, I feel it's made me a greater version of who I already was, because I was already a great version, but I'm a better version now. So I feel that when I wrote or when I write now, it's one, so I'm not carrying those emotions and that luggage on myself to put onto other people, because a lot of times we'll feel away and then we'll displace onto someone else because of how we're feeling, and we're not letting that out. We're letting it out in a negative way, and I don't want to do that. So I write just to not carry that load when I'm already dealing with life on its own.
Exactly,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do it as often as you do, but I should, because like it does help. Like whenever you like have so much in your head and putting it on paper, you're like, you see what's going on, and you know you're able to like structurize it better. You know, so like now it makes sense why I feel the way I feel.
Right.
You know, so it's, I mean, basically write more kids, and whoever's watching this, like I need to like get to the writing part, you know.
Whoever's watching this, everyone has their own way of doing things. He says write more, I say maybe write more, read more, watch more, but when you're watching more, make sure it's something that's helping you and not something that's helping you drown. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's whatever is helping you like discover your own voice.
Exactly.
You know, discover your own like thought, like think for yourself, because a lot of people don't think for themselves.
Right.
You know?
They don't.
Now let's go into that. Like, what do you think about today's society? You know, like, like, you know, it's so much going on.
It is.
You know, and how do you manage to, like, what sort of things do you do to stay in harmony, to not go insane?
I think I am insane. Okay, so when you're like I think I am insane, because when you're like a mastermind, you have to figure out ways to stay grounded and stay, like you said, in harmony. So I feel, how can I put this? You're
not normal.
No.
That's what you mean.
Exactly.
You're insane.
Yes.
You can't be normal. You're
at all.
Normal.
You gotta, to be insane, you gotta be able to be like in a circus and juggle everything at once and still be the person that you are trying to become, or that you're becoming. Not trying, but becoming. So today's society, I feel like I can't put the blame on people for being unaware or not being aware of themselves or not being conscious, because of everything that is being put out there for us to see. Social media, the music, the stuff that we watch on television. So what I say about today's society is everybody has to travel their own journey and figure out who they are, or figure out what their purpose is, because we all have a purpose here. We all have to figure out what it is and just give it back. And once you give it back, you get so much in return. You become so much more grateful for even the bad days, because you know that they don't outweigh the good, or the greater is coming.
Right. I mean, you need the bad to fulfill, or like to completely, you know, enjoy the goodness, you know.
Exactly. Duality.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, okay. So, I mean, you it's funny how you call yourself insane, because I call like some people crazy. Like, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta be a little crazy, you know. You can't be, because then if you're not crazy, you're saying you're basically following the crowd, right?
Yeah.
And we don't need more of those. We need more people that go against the grain.
Exactly.
So one thing I noticed about you, like you're very careful about the words that you choose.
Yes, got
know?
to. I don't want to put anything over my life that I don't want into fruitation for myself. So I watch what I say. I have to.
Watch what you say and what you accept from others.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? That's going into like the like a little more into like the science behind the words, and like the way we think, So you feel that like that also is part of like this how we see society. We're not careful what we say. We just like we even say things that are like put us under spells, like, oh, like I'm ugly or I'm not that smart, things like that.
Exactly. That's why it's like, just like you said, someone saying you're ugly. If you know you're not ugly, you're not even going to allow that frequency to even reach you because you're not floating there. So when you're here and someone's calling you ugly and they're here, they are never going to be able to reach you because y'all don't even see eye to eye. So I do watch what I say, and I watch what I say to others as well, because exactly like you said, casting what you're saying, everything is a spell over yourself, is a spell to say the things that you're saying, because I know I'm not ugly. I know that I'm aware. So even if I'm unaware of something, I'm still aware because I can get that knowledge. I can obtain that.
Yeah. So. But then there's like, I mean, I want to talk about this because I read the 4 Agreements. I don't know if you read that book.
No, I didn't read that book, but that's going to be my book next month that I want to read.
Like, I think the first agreement is like being impeccable with your word, which is about, the things that you say, but also the things that you believe from others.
Right.
Or the things you believe about yourself. And some of it is like people growing up, like, I think he gives the example of like a mom getting home and the daughter is singing, and she's like just got home from work. She's very tired, stressed out, and she hears the daughter sing. It's getting on her nerves, and she's like, "Shut up! You can't sing." And then like ever since then, the girl doesn't want to sing anymore.
Right, and then that's another way. That's another reason of displacement. You're just putting that onto someone else.
Yeah, and then I mean, it goes into like parenting, mentorship.
Yeah.
How, I mean, I don't have kids, but like whatever you do around like the younger generation, sometimes they're looking up to you and you're not even aware.
Exactly.
So I mean, I like talking about this because, like I said, like growing up, like I made a lot of mistakes, and I was like, damn, like, and then you see the younger generation, and a lot of people want to judge them, but they forget when they were young.
Exactly. They forget that they went through the same thing, if not worse.
Right. Like. That's why I don't judge people, because if you see them doing some dumb shit, I'm like, remember when you were dumb though?
Right, exactly. Like we weren't always this aware. We weren't always this, conscious. Like, we weren't always these people.
I probably did some dumb shit like that, but anyway. But it's about like you wanting the younger generation to learn at a younger age, to realize and become more aware at a younger age, because it's like a mass consciousness that, super consciousness that we all share, and so, I mean, I follow you on Instagram. I've seen that you follow that Mr. 19 Keys.
Yes, love him. Love him down. Like, he's one of my mentors, unconsciously, yes.
Yeah, and I ran into him, like, on YouTube, like, watching one of his videos, and, like, he's... of course, he's like becoming more, popping out more now, like, all over. Like I follow him now. I really love what he's pushing.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. And so I like how he's like very cognizant and very aware as well, like the words that he chooses and everything.
Yeah.
And the beliefs, all that. And like I don't know what kind of religion he follows or any of that. I haven't looked deep into what he does, but overall, like, he's trying to tilt the scale in a positive way, like, not because we're going against like the what's it called, the World Economic Forum, like all this, like, where this globalist agenda, where they want to, like, we don't own anything anymore, they control everything,
right? And
like basically where like we want to still have our self-expression, individuals, and so the more of that I see out there, the better. Like So I'm glad that he's your mentor. Like, I'm sure that you're going to continue like your own path, set your own path, because that book is proof of it. You know?
Yeah, this is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, I promise.
So you do art as well, right?
I do art, I draw, I paint, I got a podcast. I'm glad to be on someone else's podcast because I have my own podcast.
Yeah.
Tranquility, yep.
With a 7.
Yes, yep.
What's so special about 7?
7 is a lot of meanings. But just the one is just luck. I'm very lucky to be here, just to do my purpose.
What is luck? Or is it just divine timing?
Exactly.
Synchronicity?
Exactly. It's everything in one. It's all in one. Yes.
Which is like the simple way is calling it luck. You know, like we're lucky, but in reality, there's a lot of factors at play.
It's a lot to be grateful for in those moments. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about your podcast.
Okay. What do you want to know?
The Tranquility. And I mean, you're into what's like the messages the message that you want to put out there, basically, with your podcast.
So my podcast is more so literally like my book. It's the same format. In the moment of how I'm feeling, a word comes to my mind and I go off of that topic. Same way with my book. Topic, go off of that and incorporate the word in a way, but what my meaning of it. So it's kind of like my own dictionary in a way of what I believe behind this word or what I take from this word. So my podcast is the same thing. It's just more so my voice. Like I said, I'm using my voice now more. I'm letting it be heard because I have it for that reason. So the podcast just comes into fruition of the voice behind the book or the face. And then eventually I want to go to YouTube and do the same thing, but it will still be Tranquility. Yeah,
like, and it's part of the process of becoming who you are, right?
Exactly.
And it's like, for example, this podcast that we're doing right now is like, I've done, a few podcast episodes, and I decided to start a podcast, and it has helped me grow, It helped me become more of who I want to become, but it's not the end goal.
Yes.
I don't want to be known as a podcaster.
Right. You want to do more, but it's the beginning, stepping stones in life.
Yeah, you just gotta take. It's just it's the checkpoint in your life. The book is a checkpoint.
Exactly.
Which is also a huge accomplishment, of course. Like even this episode,
Yeah.
Like he came all the way from Delaware.
Yes.
We're in Philly. We're in downtown Philly.
Yes, I feel like when I was on my way here, all I kept saying is thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I show gratitude the most because I know that more is coming. So me sitting in this room with you, we may be sitting in rooms next year at this time and the whole room is full with people.
And thank you for actually, because I took a little hiatus from doing podcast or any content, and you brought me back out you didn't force me back out, but it was like a perfect way to get back into, getting in front of the camera.
I love that. Each one teach one.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you're new to the East Coast, or you used to live in Georgia, right?
I did. So I'm from Delaware.
Okay.
And I moved from Delaware after I graduated college. So I graduated college in 2018. May 1st, which is my brother's anniversary that he passed away, of 2019, I moved to Georgia to get a fresh start. Yep. And I was living in Georgia for a few years, and then I actually just recently moved back to Delaware from Maryland. I was living in Maryland for 2.5 years.
Okay. So what do you think about like living in Georgia compared to living on the East Coast?
I love it in Georgia. I feel like at the moment I moved to Georgia, I went down there to find a version of myself that helped me become this version of myself and the version that will come. So I feel it was a different atmosphere. It was fun. I met a lot of beautiful people from different places because in Georgia, a lot of people live there from different countries, different states. So I met a lot of people, a lot of genuine people that I still speak to this day. It was beautiful. Like I was more free out there. I went skydiving for the first time.
Nice.
I did a lot of different things, hiking, things that I always wanted to do that I never pushed myself to do out of my comfort zone living in Delaware. So when I moved, I did all of that, and like I said, I found a version of myself that I became today.
Did you feel like it helped you break away from being a product of your own environment?
Yes, of course. It's crazy because a lot of people, okay, let me watch that. It's not crazy. It's wild to say that I'm from Delaware, but a lot of people don't know that I'm from my own city.
Right, because you're different?
Not because I'm different, but more so I seen the cycle of things and I wanted to be part of the reason that it was broken. The cycle was broken.
Yeah.
So I stay behind the scenes. I don't really care to be seen. I just want to be heard, and I want my message to be out there and leave a legacy. That's the only reason why I'm here. I don't really care to be seen at all.
But yeah, you show when you want to be seen. I mean, you decide when you want to be seen.
Exactly.
As in, like we all have the 15 minutes of fame, which is, it's not necessarily 15 minutes, but we all have this. How do we want to be famous? How do we want to be known?
How do we want to be remembered?
How do we want to be remembered, And so you can have control over that, It can be for something stupid, or it can be for something meaningful.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people get famous over, a city dance, which is cool, but, then you got to keep doing city dances or form another, or use that viral sensation moment and,
you got to keep going up from there.
Yeah, you can turn it into something meaningful
right.
after that. But yeah, like I'm glad that you're like more of selective of like how, like when you want to, like, what do you want to show?
Right.
Or, what type of impact you want to make. So that's you're a mastermind.
Yes. I've mastered my own mind. Yes.
I need to watch out, Dan. No, that's good. Like that's like people that you want to be around, like people that have a higher purpose.
Exactly. I only want to be around people that have a higher purpose or that is doing things to reach their higher purpose.
Yeah.
Because then we can come together and be our authentic self. When you're around people that aren't like doing the things that are helping them to become their authentic self, they bring you back down. Yeah. So you have to watch exactly who you're around, who you allow around your energy, around your aura, because you don't want to be working overtime to become someone that you already worked from being. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it's hard to navigate that with people, especially people that are like relatives.
Yeah. Yes and no. It's a master in your mind. You can love someone and love them from a distance. Because the only way a person can do is if they see. So if they're seeing me doing the better and doing the work, the shadow work behind becoming this person that I am, then I can influence them to do the same. And then we can come back into unity. But until then, you have to love certain people from a distance. Family, friends, relationships, people that you really love. Sometimes you have to.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have no choice. You
Exactly.
have to be there for them.
Yes. Yeah, that too.
And so, yeah. So, Tranquility has a 7 on it. So, are you like, what can you tell me about numbers?
What do you want to know?
I don't know.
I love numbers. I'm big on angel numbers. So 7 is a angel number.